Whoa! Well done! Oh, you've done well, Lycan Brave. You've done well. Why have you done well? Because you're the one that's got the trophy for dishing out the most demeaning and obnoxious and absurd rants that the world has ever known. And gets away with it. Wow! Can you imagine? In these particular political times, how does he get away with it? How do I get away? I don't know. I must be blessed by the cosmos. I think that's what it is, people. Either Jesus is looking over me, or Satan. Somebody is. The question is, people, why do you like those videos? How do I get away with those videos? As far as YouTube's concerned. If I said anything about those swarthy skinned, black bearded folk, whoa, you know, the ones that have wives who look like Darth Vader, yes, those. If I said anything detrimental or remotely offensive about those, I'd be in prison now for 2 years. I would. I'd be eating porridge every day. And I'd be breaking rocks or something on a chain gang. I think that's what they do in prisons, don't they? So I've heard. People, why do you like that video? You know, those two rants, they've got like 33, 35 thumbs up and, you know, an equal amount of comments. Everyone's engaged, everyone's, you know, loving it. Yeah, give it to them, loving it, this, that and the other. And, you know, to be quite frank, if I've had 5 trolls out of 350 hits, that's all I've had. So we have to ask ourselves, what's going on? The people like Russell Brand get vastly more trolls than I do. And he is this beautiful, caring and loving socialist. And he wants everybody to be able to bum their own children and lick their mama's pussy, you know, without any consequences. He loves all that shit. You know, it's a free-for-all and we've just got to be so considerate for everybody, and it's not their fault, and we're all beautiful here. Oh, oh my God, there was a time, you know, when I used to call Russell Brand the national treasure, until he found Jesus, and that's where it all went fucking pear-shaped. And now the sickly fucking leftist twat doesn't stop fondling his beads like a fucking paedophile fondling the baby's balls, and he's fondling his crucifix, and he's talking about Jesus, and he does his little Jesus meetings, and he goes to get baptised in the river of shit and all this. What the fuck is wrong with tards? How is it? Look, Brandy, so articulate, he can verbalise words that 99%, 999% of the whole world have never even heard. You know, that's what he can do. He can dig deep into the most obscurest of the British language, and he can come up with these words that people just go, whoa, he's amazing. But you see, when people are really amazing, then they have to know that, or if they're going to be amazing and they're going to be of benefit, then they've got to pretty well keep it basic. And they've got to give the most people the most opportunity to comprehend what is being said. But when Brandy is bigging it up with these fucking words with 26 letters in them, who's knowing what the fuck's being said? So he's just beating off, isn't he? Yeah. Anyway, that's Brandy. Let's talk about someone that's a real British national treasure, Ricky Gervais, the awesome King of Kings, Ricky Gervais. He's been telling it like it is forever, and that's why he's a billionaire. And so isn't that wonderful? Why is it that people, when they are telling it like it is, at this particular moment in time, are so sought after? They really are, by a certain sector of society. Of course, you know, 50% of the world are all crying, oh, he's upsetting me when he says about people of colour, or this or that. Oh my goodness. Have those of you seen his series Extras? He had to go at everybody. He had to go at queers, he had to go at midgets, he had to go at cerebral palsy, he had to go at mongoloids. He had to go at everybody in the best possible Ricky Gervais taste. Absolutely amazing. But what he's saying is, they're fucking jokes. They're fucking jokes, people. And we have to be permitted to be light with some of these issues. We really do. Otherwise, we just end up uptight and embittered. Now, this is leading on to the main subject of what I want to speak about, and that's the collective unconscious shadow of the world. And the individuated shadow. Now, look, when I make these videos, I'm in a parody of myself. That means I'm me times 100. I'm in a caricature, and I'm telling everybody that I'm the most genius on the whole world, and nobody even comes close to me. All these grovelling little farts of human beings down below me. Yes. But the truth of it is, I mean, that's absolutely absurd, isn't it? It's ridiculous. That video, the one where I said the biggest rant and whatever, it's absurd on all levels. And, you know, for anybody that takes it really serious, and there's not too many to be fair, but if those take it too serious and they get offended by it, then they need to look at their shit. They really do. They need to stop projecting my shit and look at their shit. Because anyone with reasonable intelligence and a bit of humour will look at me and they'll go, well, I don't think he's being that serious, is he? It can't be that serious. I mean, that's just too over the top. It's outlandish. I don't think he believes that. I really don't think he does believe that. I just think he's probably a bit pissed at us because we don't engage, and he's got this idea or this, you know, innate policy whereby if people don't prove that they have a level of intelligence, then he has to assume that they don't have, and that's pretty well where I've been all my life, people. Now, there is a certain truth in that video, in that I've always been gifted with a level of perception which very few people seem to have. And I've always been able to look at things and see so much more than anybody else around me has seen. And whenever I want to do anything in my life, and you come to the firewall of you know, prevention, which all societies have got in place, and you start asking bureaucrats, why the fuck this bullshit firewall in place? And they could never ever tell me. And in actual fact, they mostly got even angry because I was asking them a question that they've never been asked before. It's impertinent to ask these questions. Why you can't cross over this line? Why you can't go into this permitted area? Why you can't do this and why you can't do that? No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to shut the fuck up and toe the line. But people like me don't, and so therefore people like me often are very, very intimidating to the masses. But there's a small sector, that's why I've only got a small viewership on this channel. There's a small sector that just go, yeah, give it to them, Aaron. Maybe you wish you could give it to them. Lots of you in the past have told me you wish you were as articulate or as brave or as forthcoming, that, you know, I'm not reserved in any shape or form. You see, the thing is, people, now look, I said this in a comment the other day when a woman says to me, she says, if you hate all your viewers so much, then why are you always making these videos, like, you know, seeming like you're trying to help them? And I'm like, well, because it's my job. It's my job. It's my job, which I know intuitively, instinctively, cosmic consciously. I know that I have to do this. I've been endowed with a certain ability which fits all the criteria to do this, and so I do it. Because I have been given a blessed life. I've absolutely been given a blessed life, absolutely protected from all evil, and so, well, what's my job? What do I have to pay forward? I have to pay forward my wisdom and experience and knowledge to those who are on the path and need a bit of a helping hand. Do I enjoy it? No, I don't enjoy it. What do I get from it? I don't think I get anything from it, to be fair, people. I don't get any remuneration. Invariably, hardly anybody ever gifts me anything. You know, in the past, there has been very, 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 very few people that have helped me out in my hour of need. And I am eternally grateful for those, and those viewers know who you are. But what do I get from it? I get a sore throat. That's what I get. I get a sore throat. And that's about it. That's about it. Yeah. But, you know, I make these videos, and sometimes I'm making videos 5 hours a day, but that, you know, gives me, you know, 19 hours of the rest of the day to do what I want, to live like a king. And so, well, it's a pretty good deal, really. And most days I'm probably only making videos for 2 hours. And so I've got 22 hours to enjoy this incredible world, and so I do that. But, you know, for someone to make a video like that one, the biggest rant, it's quite something, isn't it? It really is quite something. And for people not to hate the air that I breathe, that's quite something. For YouTube to stand for it, that's quite something, because that could very easily be considered to be hate speech. But the point is, you see, with YouTube, you can get away with hate speech in actual fact, and it isn't a thing which is massively oppressed. What is oppressed is hate speech towards a certain sector of society which they are protecting because they want to promote. And that's all it's about. It's about whoever they are promoting, which is going to infiltrate the purity of any given society like a virus, and it's going to bring it down to the ground. That's what the evil leftists want to do, by the way. And, you know, I can call Jesus all the paedophiles under the sun. I can go, pedo, 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 pedo. Jesus was a pedo, you know. He was taking all these mysterious sort of cultish wizardry concoctions of drugs, and he had antidotes of snake venom, this, that and the other, and he had his clan of prepubescent, you know, boys that he was having these sex fests with and all that sort of stuff. It's all written about people. I'm not talking out my arse here. If you want to listen to someone articulating this, then I'm always saying I'm promoting this dude, Ammon Hillman, because like he said, this stuff's got to be said. And lots of other people, not too many, but there's quite a few people which are on the same bandwagon, which are promoting the same thing, and they're saying, yeah, this bullshit Christianity shit just has to be shown for what it is now. It's a satanic cult, and anything to do with the Christian faith, its origins are satanic. And even today, with the Old Testament, with Judaism, and the New Testament with Christianity, they are both very, very, very highly premised in the satanic ritual and all the rest of it. Just read them through and you'll see the evil within them. But you see, in the New Testament, you've got just sprinkled just a few things, like Jesus said, turn the other cheek, and Jesus wanted to be nice and kind. But you've got a lot of evil in there, yes. And so again, then you should read the Gnostics about what Jesus really said, and then you can see that, yeah, he was kind of like he was a Gnostic, he was in a cult, he was a wizard. I mean, there's even carvings or pictures of him with a wand. He's pointing the wand like, you know, someone lying like the dead on a slab, and he's pointing the wand. He was a magician, people, a member of the Magi, and secret societies and all this. And so what have certain organisations and institutions and power structures done? Well, they took a little bit from here, a little bit from there. Every single bit of the Old Testament and the New Testament has been plagiarised from hundreds, if not thousands of years prior. And so you can also look into all that, people. Now, I'm digressing as I normally do because there's always so much to say. But let me get back now to asking you why you like that enormous rant of mine, when on every level it was absurd, and there's nothing about that video that, of course, I believe or I stand by or I really represent. But what I do is that I go off on tangents to the extreme because I can, because nobody's paying me to zip it up. Nobody's paying me to talk about bullshit Jesus, anything like that. And to be quite frank, people, if someone was going to offer me £1 million to, you know, talk about something like that to control the masses, well, all of a sudden you'd see me living in quite a large house with a chauffeur car, a fucking Maserati or something. Yeah, you would. You know, I've got no qualms about that. And then people say, oh, you sell out. Sell out to who? Sell out to what? Sell out to the idiot? Sell out to the fool? I mean, what's to sell out to? I mean, the fool's the fool, the idiot's the idiot. And, you know, fools and idiots, you know, have their uses. And that's why the powers that be have always called them useful idiots and treated them as such, and they still do today. And, you know, quite frankly, people, you know, I'm in allegiance with that thought. You know, the useful idiot should be in factories every single day or in quarries breaking rocks for 18 hours a day just to make sand for privileged people's sand pits. Something like that, yeah. Keeps them busy, keeps their mind occupied. Otherwise, they only want to kill themselves anyway because of their dull existence in their minds. Yeah, there's lots of things to be said. And, you know, again, I'm going into the extremities of absurdity. Why? Because somebody's got to bring balance, and there are, you know, more people bringing balance. This chair's squeaky as fuck, I don't like it. Let me change it. Fucking squeaky chair. Get the fuck out of here, squeaky chair. There we go. Now, there are people that are speaking a lot of sense, and there are people that are going to be stamping out this just ridiculous liberalist nonsense, which is going to be dragging humanity into hell. The world cannot be bending over backwards in this ridiculous, stupid liberal way. It just won't work. And so therefore, that's why more than half of America is voted for their saviour, Donald Trump. And when you listen to Donald Trump's speeches, what he's going to do, well, he's going to execute every drug dealer he gets his fucking hands on. And he's going to deal with the immigrant problem. He's going to deal with all these billions of dollars being spunked on wars which don't concern America in any shape or form. If anything, the war in Ukraine is a European war. You know, it's the British and it's the French and it's the German war. Because if they don't want Russia encroaching anymore on Europe, then they're the ones that should be doing something about it. Why should America do anything about it? You know, so Donald Trump's going, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm putting my troops out and I'm going to be spending the money on homeless people. I'm going to be rounding up all the homeless people, all the people that have got these tents and makeshift fucking accommodations all around our cities, which used to be beautiful. Gonna round them all up, gonna fucking burn all those tents and everything, gonna give people the opportunity to go to rehab, give people the opportunity to have psychoanalysis, give people the opportunity to get better. And if they don't want to get better, then they'll be put into mental institutions or prison. You know, and some of that may be extreme, and lots of, relatively innocent people may be subject to being incarcerated in mental institutions or prisons. But Trump also is in a parody of himself, because he goes that extra mile into the absurdity. But we need to go that extra mile into absurdity so the world can bring it back into some sort of semblance of decency, you know. And so it is true, you look around America and how many people have been saying, what the fuck's happening to America? All over the place you've got these ghettos made out of tents. It's not proper. It's not proper. And even in Britain, you can walk down the streets of London, you've got people with tents, literally they set up camp in the doorways of like huge superstores. And it's kind of like, how on earth are the superstores allowing this to happen? Because they can't do anything about it because of the law that's in implementation these days. And it's kind of like the laws have just been allowed every man on his dog. They've all got a dog, haven't they? They can all afford to feed the dog. Got the paper cup out there, they have, smoking the roll-ups and everything. They've got the dog, he looks kind of healthy. Yeah, all that stuff going on. So it's time to clean up America, and one day when we have hung dry our ridiculous socialist muppet Keir Starmer, then Britain will start cleaning up its act as well. And so I think the world is turning now, because there was this like huge wave coming over the world of liberalism, and people were thinking that it's really, really powerful and this is the end now, it's going to crush the whole world. But very quickly, we can see how it's just been turned around, poof, like that overnight in America. America said no, stop it. Stop perverting the innocent brains of our beautiful children. Stop dumbing down our beautiful children. Stop doing this to our children. Stop doing this to our elderly. Stop doing it. Stop. Just fucking stop. And all you want to do is promote fucking guys pretending they've got pussies and fucking hysterical fucking lunatics crying because they don't get their own socialist fucking way. No, it's got to stop. It's all wrong. And it is stopping. And so Trump is America's saviour in actual fact. And anyone that can't see that is a fucking idiot. Just simple, and look at all the idiots out there. They're idiots. The people that think Trump is the devil and he's not good for the country. Well, what part of the 4 years he was in the presidency when America was really doing well didn't they get? He did a whole bunch of stuff which got America back on its feet again. And so that's happening. And so what do I do with this platform and the small amount of viewers that I've got? Well, I have a little bit of fun sometimes, or not really even fun. I investigate the psychology of my viewers. That's what I'm doing, because I find psychology a very, very fascinating thing, particularly in this day and age. We've got a lot of fucking lunatics out there, and I don't know how many I've got watching my videos. Not too many, I don't think. I don't think I attract leftists or gays or fucking transgenders and all this. I don't think I do. I think I'm pretty well too grounded to be attracting those sort of people, and if they are around, it won't be for long, because they'll not be getting served. And Christians, well, I've packed them all on the way. Any religious folk, I just demean them until they can't stand it anymore. So what is this channel about? Well, this channel is about trying to keep it real, people, and offering people the opportunity to feel upset with me or anybody else, because at the end of the day, I'm just vocalizing, I'm just speaking words, and if you're affected by my words and you want to get angry, you need to look at that. You need to look at your shadow. You need to look at all the things that you suppress, that you don't like about yourself and the world and all this sort of thing. And so what I can see is happening is that if people are actually enjoy the rants that I have, and every time I have a rant, they always get the most attention and the most interaction, and I'm like, well, there's obviously a market for it, isn't there? Obviously a market for it. Let me just revert back to Russell Brand, because Russell Brand, he's often reading out the comments and he's saying there's always a whole bunch of people that are really having a go at me. Yeah, even people like him, the Christian, the do-gooder, they're such a nice, kind guy. Yeah, people are, you know, on a witch hunt for motherfuckers like that because they just don't like it. They just don't like it. There's a certain facet of the human being which isn't standing for that softy, liberalist, fucking protecting the weak bullshit. No, it's not about protecting the weak. Candace Owens is another one. Ricky Gervais, of course. All of his stuff is absolutely superb. Ripping a new arsehole with all these weaklings and gays and all the rest of it. But Candace Owens, she's a fucking mountain of a woman. She really is. She should be in the Trump camp somewhere. She should be, I don't know, Minister of Propaganda or some fucking thing, because, you know, she knows where it's at. And, you know, what she's saying, when the liberalists are all crying, that no, little fat folk shouldn't be protected. No, stupid folks shouldn't be protected. People that get upset because they can't get their own way in the world shouldn't be protected. And they shouldn't be embraced and patted and petted and told they're there. No, they should be told to pull your fucking selves together, you fucking retards. And that's what she does on her channel. That's what Ricky Gervais does. That's what Trump's going to do. And I think, you know, at some stage, people like Brand have to take a fall, because now this liberalist bullshit is over. There's no room for them anymore just to cream their fucking pants about this fucking fiction of this pretty nice man. It's all fucking fiction. It's just a stupid idea. And one of the viewers, when I'm ripping a new arsehole in that faggot Jesus, you know, don't get me wrong, I think his arsehole's about that big in any case, with all those fucking apostles banging inside of him on a constant basis. Yes. And so one female viewer says, oh, I like to think that that beautiful looking Jesus was a kind man, and that's where I settle out. Of course you do. If you want your world to be cotton wool, and this particular woman does. She just likes to think she's kind and loving and the world's beautiful and all that, because if she didn't, she'd fucking implode. I'm telling you, you look at these people, they just want to be kind and just, you know, think everyone's nice and beautiful and we're all beautiful human beings. No, we're not. The vast majority of human motherfuckers are disgusting, vile pink apes. They really are. You need to look closely, people. You need to fucking look closely. And so I don't have any issue about saying this. You know, I've met enough in my life to know that even the ones that say they love you and call you their best friend and business partners and all this, I know that they all turn out to be despicable cunts. Fucking weasels and vermin. I've had a life experience, people, and so that's why I'm sitting now in my ivory tower having fuck all to do with them, because that way I'm much better off. And so I'm just speaking with my loud halo. Now hear this, now hear this. All you muppets and vermings out there, pull your fucking selves together and stop crying, you bitches. Yes, that's the Awake and Brave style. And I say, look, yeah, I'm living like a king. And people go, you're living like a king in an apartment on state handout. Compare your life to mine. Compare it to mine. Wake up in the morning, absolutely still and calm. Listen, can you hear anything? You can't hear anything. You can't hear nothing. Beautiful and tranquil. Open the window, I can hear the birds and the squirrels. It's wonderful. I leisurely make a brew, get my foodstuffs together, go out and sit with my family. Look at the world, feel the world, taste the world, contemplate the world. Then come back into my beautiful apartment and start my day. And it's filled with hedonism. Just things that give me a boner, yeah. And so, you want to compare your life to mine? Yeah, no, you got it all wrong, people, you got it all wrong. And you see, look, here's the thing about gurus. So this woman says to me, so you do these videos, you tell us that you hate us all, but you know, they only want to comment on one video. You know, this particular person, I haven't heard from her in a fucking month or two, but all of a sudden she comes out from under a stone like a slithering slug, and she's got something to say about that. But she hadn't had anything to say about all the beautiful videos I've made, all the self-empowering videos and all that. What is it with these fucking freaks? That you know, as soon as they get triggered because they realise their lives are living fucking hell, and every day they're eating shit, and then when someone like me points the fucking truth out to them, and then they slither and slug back under their fucking damp fucking rock. Oh my goodness. When I put up these rants, either side of those rants are very, very helpful, enlightening, useful videos. And yet they barely get a fucking click comparatively. You know, they'll get a third of the clicks that the rants will. So there's 2/3 of you guys which are not interested in self-empowering. You're not interested in being enlightened or awoken, really. You just want to listen to what fucking Joe Rogan's saying to Elon Musk. The genius, the genius, the genius. You listen to the guy talk. I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether I've ever met any geniuses in my life, but when I've listened to very intelligent people, you can see, you can hear, you can feel that there's a vastness to their intellect. I don't get that with Musk. I really don't. All I get is, and if he says a couple of words together, the whole words, oh, genius words, Musk. No, it's not. It's not. And people, you know, how does he have these 5 mega businesses and he keeps them all ticking over? I know what it's like to run a business. If some of you will know what it's like to run a business, it takes every fucking waking hour of your life. And you don't get time to sit and fucking smoke a bit of a fucking spliff with Joe Rogan. You don't get time to go and, you know, do all these chats. So what is he doing? The CEO of 5 major companies. He isn't doing fuck all, people. He isn't inventing no fucking rockets. He isn't inventing no fucking satellites. He's inventing jack shit. He's just a fucking front man. Like David Icke says, he's just a fucking front man. And, you know, he could be replaced with anybody else. And, you know, if he was replaced with 100 other people, 99 of them would be more articulate than him. And so, you know, you've got to get things in perspective. You've got to see between the lines, people. You really have. But in any case, we've got Musk, who is in the Trump camp. And so, obviously, it's about money. So Trump is going to be good to him, and of course, you know, you don't need too much intelligence to be able to work out. If you back the potential president, if you bung a few quid in his direction, if he gets in, well, he's coming back 1,000-fold. Yeah, of course, it's all business, people. Don't be beguiled thinking that they're all good friends and all this bullshit. Oh my God, it just makes you laugh, doesn't it? It makes you laugh. So let's talk about the collective unconscious, shall we? The collective unconscious, the Jungian unconscious, the shadow. What does that mean when we have a shadow? When we have a shadow, the shadow is what Jung termed to be all of the facets that we don't like about ourselves, or we consider that society isn't going to be standing for. So we repress all that stuff. And so in light of this liberalist wave that's washed over the fucking world in the past decade or 20 years, I mean, it's been going on since the 60s with the postmodernists, but you know, it's really been peaking, it's really been coming to a crest with all that Biden and Kamala bullshit. Well, in view of that, where, you know, all of our comments, how many comments are getting just disappeared from YouTube? How many people are being disappeared, never to be seen again? Physically, you know, how many people are being cancelled? How many people's lives are being ruined because they've been stating the fucking obvious what's happening with rogue runaway states? Yeah, well, hopefully that's going to be turned around. And what I think, if Elon Musk really, really is the world's saviour, then he needs to create a new YouTube where people can say what the fuck they want, just like they're supposed to be able to say on Twitter. Yes, that's what either Trump or Musk need to do, or collectively they need to ride out of town this bullshit leftist, liberalist, fucking cocksucking YouTube that is cancelling every motherfucker for contravening their hidden policies. Nobody even knows what their policies are because they don't state them. They just say, if we feel this and if we feel that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well that's no way to run a democracy, is it? No, that's a dictatorship. So, for as long as I can get away with saying things like this, then of course on this platform I will. But why do people like my rants when I am absolutely being a caricature, I'm being in a parody of myself, and I'm saying absurd things and I'm acting absurd? You see, you know, most of you get this, you get it. Because you use your sense and you look at other videos and you go, well, he speaks perfectly articulate and intelligently, and you know, we know he has a heart because you know, the things he does and how he tries to help the people and this that and the other. But then all of a sudden you'll throw one of these in and it's kind of like it's a fire in the hole. It's a fire in the hole. Wake up, you fucking tart. You've gone back to sleep again, haven't you? I've just been putting up really, really great fucking videos. You really should be paying more attention to these rather than Taylor Swift and fucking Beyonce. You should be paying attention to these more. And so fire in your hole, and then it gets your attention, doesn't it? So I know what I'm doing, people, with these tactics. And I've got a hunch that, you know, most of you know also. And, you know, the shadow aspect of you needs people like me to say stuff like this, you know, to call a spade and this, that and the other, because you're tired of this level of fucking sinister oppression. And so even though I'm saying things outlandish now and again, you still want to support it because you know it's only tongue-in-cheek, just bullshit, just to grasp people's attention and to upset the idiots, the shrinking violets, and send them on their way, so I don't have to listen to their stupid bullshit. Just keep sending them on the way. It's the filter system, people. It's the filter system. And you know, the thing is, I will listen back to my videos like that, and you know, even I'll go, ooh, how could anybody even remotely find that enjoyable? How can anybody sit through that? And of course, there's probably lots of you that didn't. You heard the first minute and you saw how it was going and you thought, I've not got the stomach for this. I think some of his other videos are alright, but when he goes off on one, I don't need to get involved in that because I don't need turning around like, you know, the idiots do. And so, but it's horses of courses, isn't it? You'll all work out what I'm doing in your own way. But if we look at this shadow, all the things that we suppress, we don't want to suppress those things. It's not healthy to suppress those things. And this is why Jungian psychology and Freudian psychology, you know, was very, very big in its day. And still very well respected today, because they enabled people to release themselves from the burden of their own suppression, which was imposed upon them by their society at any given time. And then when you look at Germany, 1939, 1945, okay, there was a certain dude who was a very, very sharp and intelligent articulator. And if you listen to the English interpretations of his speeches, you will see that he isn't the raving lunatic that he's being portrayed to be. He's a very, very intelligent and visionary politician that just wanted the best for his people. He didn't want Czechoslovakia killing the German subjects. He didn't want Poland killing the German subjects. He said enough. They never listened, and so that's when he sent the tanks in and said, "You fucking listen now." Yes, way to go, boy, way to go. And if you look at that particular person, right, he never killed anyone. I've never read a single thing where he killed anyone. He didn't kill anyone. Who killed all the people? All the other people, all the other billionaires, all the other trillionaires which were sending funds. You know, much of the funds for the Socialist Party of Germany came from America, came from the oil magnates and big business tycoons from America and around Europe. They were paying because they wanted it to happen also. And so when it all of a sudden started to get a little bit sticky, then they started to try to, you know, whitewash over their tracks and burn all the documents of all their funding and support and all this and that. You know. And of course the policies of that regime are still very, very, very much in place today. People, only they're under another guise. And so, but what I'm saying is about that, well, you know, the scapegoat is that dude, but he never did any of that. He was just saying to people, hey, you know what's going on? This is going on, that's going on, and they're doing this. You can see they're doing that, and they were doing it. You know those, you know whose, they were doing it, they're still doing it. And so he just brought attention to that. And so then they went and did the business. All the hierarchical system below him, they all organised it. And even most of those never even did any of it. They just left it to the idiot in the street, the useful idiot. They put guns and tanks in their hands and said, you go and do it. And they all go, aye, aye, sir, or aye, aye, sir. Oh my goodness. And they're still doing it today. Like Kamala. Oh. Russia bad. Ukraine good. What has been will be no more, and what will be will soon to come. Oh my God, who did she think she was? She thought she was some sort of fucking prophet, this stupid bitch. So I can say that. I can say Kamala, stupid bitch. I can say Biden's a senile old twat. I can say Jesus Peter. I can say all this sort of stuff. But I can't say other things about certain things, can I? Why? Due to the corruption. It's the corruption. They're corrupt motherfuckers that want to promote corruption. And you know who's responsible for that? It's the you-know-who's again. Because the you-know-who's, they're very, very small populace. And if they are going to be having power over the masses, then they've got to deploy nasty, evil, subliminal, evil tactics. That's what they have to do, and they do. They've done it forever, people. They've done it forever. So, said a lot of things there. Ran around rings, haven't I? Gone all over the place. But keep bringing it back, keep bringing it back, keep bringing it back. So you don't forget, so you get the message. So if we look at the collective shadow of any given society, when they have been suppressed, they get to a point whereby the shadow will no longer be contained. They just want to state what they believe. They want to call a spade, and they want to bring the world to task. And so given the right opportunity, given the right leader, all hell will let loose. And so that's what's going to happen in the good old United States of America, because their new president is going to be giving them license to do that, giving them license against these drug barons and cartels which are killing hundreds of thousands of American citizens. When I was in America for 1 whole year, right, I couldn't go anywhere. I never met anyone who wasn't subject to fentanyl, that absolutely disgusting, vile pill from hell. It was a killer, and so many people would sit in very confined spaces and tell their stories, and I'd be listening about sitting down to get high, and then to get this fentanyl out, and then they just watch their partner or friend or sidekick just go blue and keel over, and then they'd wonder what the fuck they can do with the body, and they'd try to hide the tracks so they never had any thing to do with it, and this and the other. It happened time and time again. And then people were telling me that their mothers and their fathers were addicted to fentanyl, that their uncles and aunts were, their grandparents were, everybody. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? People from certain realms and societies, they grew up on fentanyl and anything they could get their hands on. And you look at the world and you go, wow, America, you're in trouble. You are in trouble, because I'm telling you, people, I met thousands of these people. And I'll talk about it one day. I'll talk about it one day. So the collective shadow is going to come out, because we're not standing for the suppression, and we're going to be bringing down to the ground, we're going to be raising to the ground platforms like YouTube, because they won't be useful anymore. We will not be suppressed by those tyrants at the top of this hierarchical system who think they're too big to fail, and think that nobody can ever take mastery or control over those, and you can't get in touch with them in any shape or form, and you've got no redress whatsoever, because it's like there's nobody even exists. YouTube is like, it's just a bot, and it's programmed to say this and say that and do that, and it does, and nobody's reading your emails, nobody's doing anything except the bots. And there's only been very, very few people who are very, very wealthy that get lawyers to contact the CEOs of YouTube and say, hey, this particular person, you might want to look into their account because they violated shit. And even if you think they have violated shit, well, you better fucking answer to this, because, you know, what you're doing is you're acting like a nasty dictatorship. Yes. And then they go, oh, yeah, sorry. And then they reinstate their account. But for the minions, for the idiots, for the man in the street, we don't get that privilege. And so, what am I saying? I'm saying a few things. I'm asking, why do you know why that you like that variety of belligerent rant? They're always popular, so there is a market for it. And you know, as far as haters and trolls are concerned, I get very, very few percentage-wise. It really is not even worth mentioning. Whereas other people, you know, goody two-shoes like Russell Brand, you know, there's a large percentage of people that consider that he's a state plant, he's working for the CIA, you know, all this different sort of stuff, and you know, he's done questionable things, and he comes from a questionable background, doesn't he? Look at the questionable background he comes from. You know, he's a goody two-shoes now, but he's come from being an absolute sexual nonce, a complete drug addict, fucking loser, somebody that was always bashing and decrying the dead desert dogma religions and don't vote for anybody, and you know, this, that and the other, and now all of a sudden he's this goody two-shoes. I'm not buying it. Are you buying it? No. Good. It's only a matter of time before his fragile, insecure mind will be lending itself to another cult. Hopefully next time it's Satanism, because that's the way the world's going. And at the end of the day, people, basically Satanism is just self-serving. That's all it means if you look into Anton LaVey's Satanism and this and the other. It's just self-serving. And the world's almost there, but certain facets of evil have tried to stamp out that good facet of that naughty boy Satan. You see, if you look into what Satan was and what he represented in the Old Testament, then he was just a dude that said, hey, if you eat from that fruit, then you become like them. You'll know what those fuckers are doing. That's basically what he said. Whereas Yahweh, Jehovah, said, don't be eating from that tree of knowledge. You can't be getting clever like us. No, 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 no. But Satan says, no, yes, you can be getting clever. You won't die. Just eat from that fruit and then you can fuck them up. At least you'll know what they're doing. At least you'll know how they're trying to fuck you up. And that's where we are now. So where's the wrong in Satan? No wrong at all, people. No wrong at all. The wrong and the evil is Yahweh and Jehovah for being those evil suppressors and being those murderers. Look at all the murder that went on in the Old Testament. Oh my goodness. You think it's a God, a benevolent God, a creator of the fucking cosmos? Joke. Fucking joke. Anyway, look into it. Look into the Gnostics. Look into all these different realms where you can find the real truth of what's going on about them. So, just to finalise again, bringing it back. The shadow people, yeah, the reason why you like me, even though I'm banging on with such a high level of absurdity, is because you feel a release. You feel a release of the containment of your suppressed shadow. And you want it to come out, you're waiting for it to come out, and there will be an opportunity when it will come out. Your shadow will be released in Britain, if you're in Britain, when Nigel Farage gets into power. For the next 3 years, under the Starmer regime, which is a regime, a fascist regime, then you got to mind your P's and Q's. Trump, their shadow will be out now, and you will see how that country becomes massively animated. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff going on because the Liberals are going to be fighting for their lives. The last residue of liberalism, it's going to be fighting for its life. You see, the Liberals now have had to look inside, they've had to regroup, they've had to contemplate, they've had to redress how they were thinking, because they were thinking wild. And even lots of the prominent Liberals, that they're speaking quite openly about it, and it's really, you know, kind of bizarre how they're admitting that they were wrong. Yeah, we were fucked up. We didn't give Trump enough respect. We didn't give the American people enough respect. We never addressed policy. We took it for granted that we were just going to win. You know, and just on the premise of Kamala's stupid village idiot smile and all the rest of it. By the way, Candace Owens, she did a remarkable job proving to the world that Kamala Harris was not of black origin. No, she was of Indian origin, and she got no African black blood in her at all. And oh my goodness, and that was such a joke. And so Candace, she did a massive research, and she discovered all this stuff, and she discovered the barefaced lies and the hidden history that Kamala Harris's ancestors were in actual fact slave owners that owned plantations in places like Jamaica and other parts of the Caribbean. Oh my goodness, what a can of worms, people, what a can of worms. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Enough said there. There's lots of things to think about. But the main issue, the main question, if any of you would like to furnish me with an answer as to why you don't condemn these belligerent rants, why you don't feel as if they're directed to you, why you feel that it's great that someone is saying it, why you're not taking me too serious, just try to give me a little bit of feedback, because you know, if I'm getting anything from it other than the spiritual blessing, of course I'm getting the spiritual blessing, I shouldn't really be asking for anything else. But as I'm here, it's kind of like, oh, I'm just asking, just saying, you know, why do you watch this, why do you like that, or why do you dislike it? Just try to be rational and philosophical, psychological, you know. State your claim, you know, reasonably. And if you're going to judge me, don't judge me on one video, judge me on 850 videos, right? Or at least judge me on fucking 85. Don't be judging me on one video. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's like judging Trump on a few words that he says, like the Liberals do. They just take a few words here and then they copy and paste it with a few words there, and they go, oh, look, you see, he's evil. No, he's not evil. He is the saviour. Yeah, he is Jesus reincarnated, by the way.